48 hours, we've seen an increase in attempted rocket attacks from Hezbollah in response to Israel killing their military leader, Fuad Shukr. This has been very excellently deterred by the Israelis. They launched 100 planes 2 nights ago, and they destroyed thousands of Hezbollah rockets and rocket launch sites. And the question now is, what will the next move be? Hezbollah say that they've done all they want to now in an attempt to revenge Shukr, but we'll have to see how this plays out over the coming weeks and months.
It is a deeply concerning situation across the board, particularly because we've seen what Israel described as a preemptive strike and then, well, I suppose, post-emptive strikes as well. Obviously, things haven't spilled over to the scale of warfare that we've seen with Hamas, with Hezbollah, but this is really on the cards now.
Yes, and it's going to take some diplomatic efforts, I think, to get this to calm down. It's a very difficult thing to say that because Israel is in a real bind. They're under attack from 6 different fronts at the moment, and they can only really deal with one at a time. So they're not going to be able to try and conduct ground operations in Lebanon against Hezbollah, at least until the Gaza war is fully completed, I would suggest.
And what is Iran saying? They back this group, they back Hezbollah in terms of funding and presumably strategy. What are they saying about all this?
Well, they're keeping pretty quiet. They've had a humiliation of their own when Ismail Haniyeh, who was the political leader of Hamas, was killed in a bombing in Tehran as he was visiting the Iranian regime for the inauguration of their new president. So they've been humiliated internationally, and they'll be keen to try and do something against Israel in response. But the Americans have pushed 2 aircraft carrier groups into the region. There's a nuclear submarine there as well. And the White House has been very clear about repercussions for Iran if they do decide to escalate in a way similar to the one we saw in April, where they launched 500 rockets and drones at Israel, and all but one was shot down. So, Iranian options are quite limited here. They don't have the strongest of militaries. Their entire strategy is based around these proxies they have dotted all around the Middle East. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about an Iranian direct response at this point.
That is a reassuring note to end on, I suppose, although, of course, the situation remains very, very volatile. Andrew Fox, really appreciate your time, Research Fellow at the Henry Jackson Society. Thank you for your expertise this afternoon.
Yes, well, this is Good Afternoon Britain on GB News. We've got lots more coming up on today's show, including a question I want to put to you about why on earth teachers are being told to learn about whiteness. Stay tuned.
It's just after 1:30. Now for your latest headlines. Some sad news, first of all. Former England manager Sven-Göran Eriksson has died, aged 76. The Swedish national became the first ever foreign manager of the England men's football team in 2001, also managing a series of high-profile clubs such as Man City, Benfica, Roma and Fiorentina. Prince William has led the tributes to Eriksson, saying, "Sad to hear about the passing of Sven-Göran Eriksson. I met him several times as England manager and was always struck by his charisma and passion for the game. My thoughts are with his family and friends, a true gentleman of the game." It has now been confirmed that everyone has been accounted for after a major incident was declared following the breakout of a fire overnight at a block of flats in Dagenham. Over 100 people were evacuated from the building, with 2 people being taken to hospital. London Fire Commissioner Andy Rowe has said a full investigation into the fire and its cause will now get underway. He said, "We know there will undoubtedly be concerns around the fire safety issues present within the building, and this will form part of our report." Earlier today, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has laid flowers at a memorial site where 3 people were killed and 8 injured in a stabbing on Friday. The 26-year-old behind the attack in the city of Solingen has been named as Issa al-H. That was after he gave himself up to the police. The Syrian national is now being investigated by German federal prosecutors for links to the Islamic State. Italian prosecutors have placed the captain of the super yacht which sank off the coast of Sicily last week under investigation. It's been reported that James Cutfield, a 51-year-old New Zealand national, is being investigated for manslaughter and shipwreck. The vessel's sinking led to the deaths of British tech magnate Mike Lynch and 6 other people. Those are your latest GB News headlines. For now, I'm Sophie Reaper. More in half an hour.
For the very latest GB News direct to your smartphone, sign up to News Alerts by scanning the QR code or go to gbnews.com/alerts.
Cheers Britannia Wine Club proudly sponsors the GB News Financial Report.
But here's a quick snapshot of today's markets. The pound will buy you $1.3193 and €1.1818 euros. The price of gold is £1,915.53 per ounce, and the FTSE 100's at 8,327.78 points.
Cheers Britannia Wine Club proudly sponsors the GB News Financial Report.
Hello there, welcome to your latest GB News weather forecast. It's drier and brighter for many today, a bank holiday for some of us.